Yo, what's up, everyone? Emmett, how you doing? Yeah, Maka. We're gonna Maka. What's up? Hey, Age, how are you? Good to see everybody, which is like three people currently. Cause why shouldn't it be three people? I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Welcome in. We're gonna cover some news. Gonna go back to some of the stuff that put me on the map in the first place. Know what I'm saying? It's incredible. It's incredible seeing the news articles and um, knowing that I covered this, like predicted what was going to happen like years ago now, in some cases months ago at least. So welcome in, everybody. We're going to go over some news, and first of all, I can't do it without a little bit of shilling and grifting. Um, I am jobless, so I do ask you to consider to donate. There's a command you can put in, a exclamation mark tip, or you can go on to my YouTube and just pick one of the videos. Look at the description. There's um, there's a bunch of links in there, including a Streamlabs tip one, and yeah. So yeah, consider that. It helps pay for stuff that I'm doing here. Also consider paying me some money. All right, pay me some money for a game that Emmett and I have built. Um, we've pieced it together. I'm shilling it quite publicly, shamelessly. Let me show you what the game is, and then we'll get to some news. If I go over here, so we built a game. I think you can put in exclamation mark chat battle, all one word, in chat. It'll give you a link to the game, and you hop on the link and you register for an account. I happen to have one, so I'll just hop in here. So essentially what happens in the game here is you can, yeah, there you go. Thank you, TMX. Good to see you. You can register, and then you get tokens. It's kind of like arcade style. And you set up a battle with somebody else. They have to also join. It could be um, it could be another person in chat. If you want to battle against me, I'll battle you, etc. I did just do two things with this game. One, I did overhaul it using Datastar, which is a framework that I've been meaning to attempt to try out because I've interviewed the creator of Datastar several times. He and I are kind of buddies, and the the yeah, you'll get a full blown character created. So I use that framework for this. It works fantastically well. It worked way better than I expected. I'm gonna be talking more about that framework. I want more of that in the industry. I have a view only version down below. So if you guys play while I'm streaming, you'll be able to see down below. You can play against each other, whatever you want to do. The other thing that I did add just today, thanks to Emmett, is I added, if you know who Andrew Wilson is, I did add him. When you click initiate battle, you can now pick Andrew Wilson here. And Andrew Wilson has some special attacks. He has a +2 attack buff, and his attacks have special names, and he also randomly trash talks you throughout the battle. So if you know who he is, there you go. He's been good to me, so I thought it'd be, let's say, the fun to add him in there. So yeah, he's got some special. You can even click on him. He's the only sprite that has this. If you play as Andrew Wilson or somebody else does, he gets a link because he's a grifter, right? So you can click on his sprite during the battle and it'll take you to his merch store. If you would like to play and you don't want to cough up $1 for a token to play, then just let me know and give me your username that you register with, and I'll give you some tokens and you can play with it. So at any point throughout the stream, if you would like to battle me, you can just ask, except for when I'm actually reading the articles. I tend to just read them and ignore chat just to get through them, and then I catch up with chat after. But yeah, otherwise you guys can just hop in and have at it. All right, so that's that. I'll bring that up a few times here, but that's fun. It should work on mobile. I have to fix the header on the mobile though. It's a little bit wonky on mobile, but we'll fix it. We'll make it better. Shout out to Emmett for doing the sprite work. He and I are gonna make a thing out of this. Hopefully I can afford to pay him. Know what I'm saying? Hopefully one day I'm gonna be able to afford to pay him. We'll see what happens. What's up, Marilyn? Good to see you. 3D Code Warrior, good to see you. All right, let me put in my headphones so I can make sure I can listen to notifications, and then I think I'm ready. We're gonna get started with the news here. So I've got some cybersecurity articles to go over. We'll go over those right now. Let's start with, oh, I don't know. How about yeah, how about this one? Let's start with this one. 252 million identities dumped online in massive leak affecting 7 countries. Huh, interesting. So the countries affected: Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Mexico, South Africa, and oh, Canada, home of maple syrup. It's a requirement up here in Canada where I live. Before you spin up any stream, you have to walk your moose around the block just to make sure they get some exercise, because then they have to hang out and wait for you to finish your stream. Anytime you go to purchase maple syrup, you must do so riding on the back of a moose. And sometimes maple syrup is used as a bartering system in exchange for, in place of cash. In some cases, it's even more valuable than cash. By the way, just a brief pause. We do have Amagod, who has joined the battle over here. Go join him in chat battle. He is playing as Andrew Wilson from the Crucible, and you can go battle him. I don't know why my preview version is not properly showing up, but it's fine, whatever. We'll let that play. Okay, so what happened is that there were misconfigured servers that included what kind of information? What is this on the Krispy Kreme scale? The leaked information includes ID numbers, dates of birth, contact details, and home addresses. Fun. The databases shared the same structure and naming conventions because there were multiple databases that seem to have been leaked here, which means that they probably came from the same source. And so here in red, this is like what? Like, I don't know, some Team America style map of like all the places that America's gonna, invade, take over, for freedom, But these are all the places that were hit, and be careful out there. ID, first name, last name, name, address, city, province, postal code, phone, record time. Clearly, this one's Canadian, eh? Clearly, this one's Canadian, and Canadian data, ID, national ID, full name, given name, surname, date of birth, gender, mobile international, email, full address, and AD1. Now, I'm not sure what AD1 is, but there you go. Entire nations affected, including specificities around particular IDs and other information based on which country the information came from. So once more, handing off your security responsibilities to a third party doesn't pay, if that's what happened here. It's unclear, but it seems that way. And furthermore, programmers don't even know how to do basic security anymore. Yet just another instance of seeing this. On the Krispy Kreme scale, I would say that this is probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's pretty bad. It's not like your PIN card, your debit card PIN numbers have been exposed, or anything like that, which was absolutely wild that Krispy Kreme had that information. But alas, it's still quite problematic. So I put it at a 7 or 8 out of 10, especially considering 252 million people have been exposed. At what point do you just call it and just assume that all your data has been leaked everywhere? Like, at what point, right? At what point? Okay, so that's one article down. Let me just catch up with chat. Yeah, my God. What happens here when you join the battle? So I'll just show. So Amagod's on there waiting for a contender. If somebody wants to take him on, let's switch back. So the reason why it's 9 out of 18, it's because there's a max. So the max is 18. It's a tug of war style. So you do rock, paper, scissors. I don't think you're seeing the commands on here, but it's like the special commands. It's rock, paper, scissors style. You each pick an action per turn. And if your action beats the action of your opponent, then you get 1 HP and they lose 1 HP. And so it goes back and forth as a tug of war style until somebody gets the full 18. Like I said, Andrew Wilson gets a +2. There we go. We have a contender. Here we go. Yeah, for Andrew, it's Grift, Logic, and Crystal. That's right. What's up, Mist? Good to see you. What's up, Vamp? Good to see you. Yeah. So whoever just joined as Knight, they blocked each other. We're going to watch this play out. Now, for a cool $2, if you send in a $2 super chat or you send in some subs or something like that, I can go in and buff anybody you want. I can provide buffs for either player or both players. So I can do an attack buff, or I can do different kinds of like maximum HP, whatever. And yeah, that's something you can do if you want to send in a dono of some kind, $2 for a buff, and you just tell me what you want me directed to, and I'll go into my admin dashboard where you can see that right now, whoever this Knight guy is winning. Right now, they're winning. It looks like they're going to take it. Amagod's not looking so good. Oh, it's TMX there. It's TMX. TMX is the Knight. He should have given himself a name. He didn't. Let's see. Let's see who wins. This will be a interesting little experiment here. We'll see who wins. Joe Bobber. I don't know what you're talking about, Emmett. I don't care about what Emmett says. I just don't care. You changed since last time yeah, I did. TMX. Yeah, I did change it. Yeah, you might have missed it, TMX. I went over it at the beginning of the stream. I don't think you were here though. But yeah, I explained there was some changes. So yeah, it's rock paper scissors style. Yeah. You guys are both blocking each other. Dude changed logic for alligating. I don't know. Sure. For alligating? What are you talking about? Alligating? What was you're gonna have to explain that to me. Damn it. Oh, Amagod's coming back. Amagod's coming back. And I'm not gonna change it right now, Emmett. Like, you're just gonna have to send me a message and I'll change it when I change it. Holy crap, that guy like thinks that he can just spam my chat. He's probably just gonna spam my chat now. Oh, I don't know the lore. Yeah. No, it's you suck. No, you suck. This is my stream, so I don't suck. Oh, what's up, Laughing Panda? Oh, we're tied again. TMX and Amagod are tied. This is a close race, folks. Who's going to take it? TMX is in the lead again. I'm actually quite impressed this works as well as it does. I'm just in spectator mode here. Like I said, you can join. It's free to join, and then you can just buy tokens to play the game. But it looks like TMX is going to take it. Yeah, TMX is pulling in, or pulling out, or pulling ahead. He's pulling something. TMX is pulling something. We'll see what happens here. Watching him heal is disappointing. Yeah, but it may. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Even as Andrew Wilson, Amagod cannot win. Amagod is getting wrecked right now. It's a 17-1. Let's see if Amagod can. Laughing Panda, that's Andrew Wilson from the Crucible. You might not know who he is. It's okay. Give him a minute to pony up. So this is something that you can do. TMX is playing the game correctly. You can hold the game hostage so long as I'm generous enough not to boot anybody. So I can go in as admin and boot you both, and that's the end of the game. But you can hold the stream hostage, and what you can do as a like as a player, if you're like in chat or whatever, you can grift, which ultimately is just paying me, right? So if you want somebody to pay money to continue the game, you can just wait to finish your action. You don't have to take it. Or you know, wait for somebody to throw some money into the stream and then, you know, move it forward, something like that. So I need a trash talk panel so I can tell him how much he sucks. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go back to the news. Add a timer. Yeah, I'll add a timer. Yeah, but not yet. I'll get there. I have a to-do item to add a timer. Not yet. We'll let this play out. Does attack and defense do anything now? No. It's rock, paper, scissors, and it's just one and one. So the only thing that'll happen is if you succeed, then I can buff up the amount of HP that the winner gets and the loser loses. So that's it. There is no defense. The defense is just make sure you pick the right rock, paper, scissors. All right, that's all. So just make sure you're doing that, and you're good. Oh, Amagod came back. Oh, down. And you can see that Andrew blocked. Are they going to go for it? Are they actually going to finish this game? Because in a second, I'm just going to go back to the news. So blocked each other. Man, you guys are going to get a lot of points for the blocks. Amagod's hanging in there. Hanging in there. The blocks give you a lot of points on the leaderboard, by the way. Yeah, back down. Jeez. This could go on forever. Amagod could hang in there for he's hanging in there. They could hang in there for the entirety of the rest of the stream. That's what could happen. So, if somebody wants to buff up one of the players, just drop a $2 dono. I'll put in a buff, and we could end this, or you can just watch the. I'm curious to see who wins before I go back to the news for a while. Oh, TMX won. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Well done, TMX. Good job. So the winner's TMX. Awesome. But oh my God, I got to give it to you. You hung in there. Now I am curious what the leaderboard looks like. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So just TMX gained, holy crap, a ton of points for that. But so did Amagod, because they did a whole bunch of blocks. If you saw the log, which you can go back and you can go see the log, they did a whole bunch of blocking, right? So yeah, look at the chat in 6th. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so there you go, folks. There you go. So we'll keep making this better. It'll be fun. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to quickly just do a quick check to see why it's not showing up under the hang on. If I do I go, if I do this, will this show it? Okay, that'll show it. Perfect. All right. Okay, so I'll keep the preview on beneath me. I think I got it sorted out now. And the preview means that as I'm doing news articles like this one, it'll show up down here. So if you go and play again now, it should show up and play accurately down below. Or if I switch to full cam over there, it will show up. I just had to log in to do it. So all right, so back to the news then, shall we? Let me see, where did we leave off? Oh right, all your information has been hacked, taken over and hacked. Let's go over yeah, how about this one? We'll do this one next. Now, the Navy Federal Credit Union is unfortunately suffering from yet a very similar instance to what we just went over with the 252 million records due to a misconfigured server. The Navy Federal Credit Union leaks 378 gigabytes of files. There's a unsecure, so yet another unsecure bucket, unsecure set of information, and misconfigured server. It includes operational data from Tableau. Fortunately, no customer information, but it was open, unprotected, which means you could just access it without a password. Now, they were smart enough not to contain customer information in plain text. Good, but there was sensitive information like internal usernames, email addresses, and possibly hashed passwords and keys, which even though they're hashed, which is another way of just saying encryption, you could, if you understood what mechanism was used to hash them, you could go and crack that and potentially go find the information. Now, the Tableau workbook documents in here, what is that? It's a fintech company. So Tableau is a company that they've linked to as part of another one of their articles here, but they're essentially a fintech company, which means that now anybody who wants to can have access to how these financial tech firms, or how in particular the Tableau financial tech firm here operates internally. You can see some of the data that they got access to, etc., etc. And this information can absolutely be used for other nefarious acts. It could be like phishing emails like it says here. It could be to say, hey, we noticed that you have an account on Tableau. Maybe you should give us your account information so that we can, help you out, right? Like this kind of stuff works all the time. The phishing industry, we've gone over some of the stats on this on previous Tech Bytes and Daily Tech News and all that. The phishing industry makes like a ton of money every year. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry at this point, I believe, if not in the hundreds of millions. So this stuff works. And, you might think like, who falls for this crap? Lots of people do. And all it takes is just a few people out of hundreds of thousands, and you have tons of money. So be careful out there. All right. Stay safe. As per usual. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. By the way, I've done some updates to my Enlightened Programming website. It is live right now on enlightenedprogramming.com. This is my internal admin version, but you get to see something similar. I'm going to make it a little bit better. So you can go on there right now if you have an account. If you don't, you just ask me. I'll give you an account key and a link. You just use the link and it's your own account. You can go and look at the episodes. I'll set them up in advance, and you can go vote on stuff that you want me to tackle next. It's kind of, it's not the greatest user experience. I realize having to go to the website and look at it and then clicking on vote to vote on what you want me to do next. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to find a much better way to do this. Maybe make it like a publicly open thing where people can just vote. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. It's not the greatest, but there are some updates there. Enlightenedprogramming.com. If you've ever donated $10 or more on stream, or if you want to go on the homepage, which is right here, and you can get a link to tip, and you just tip for $10 or more, and you'll have access. And it's all the information I go through, all the stats, all the scientific studies, all of my videos, all of my shorts, everything categorized, tagged, searchable, structured, all of it. You want to find out, whether I've covered stuff about health issues, you got it. You want to find out about the M&S co-op UK stuff, you got it. You want to find out about technocracy, all there. It's all there, all searchable. Links to articles, texts, etc. I'm going to be putting up the first official blog post either later today or tomorrow. I'm going to start taking this stuff seriously since I'm out of work and trying to make something, with the game and all that. I'm trying to do something and provide some value for you guys at the same time. So yeah, I need more tailwind. Yeah. More tokens for voting on topics. Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Okay. So this is kind of what I do here, right? So, just so you guys know how it works, I've set up episode 6 here. I have a litany of articles to go through. I won't go through them all because it would take too long, but then I just mark them read or uncovered, or covered, I mean, and then I just go through them one by one. So if something pops up out of this list as you're watching and you'd like me to cover it, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep picking. So cybersecurity. Oh yeah, this one. Let's do this one. All right. So let me do this proper because I have to do the camera switch because when I edit these videos, I need to know that I've begun an article and then switch to it and then come off. So, okay. So we have this next one. If you think that your tire companies are exempt from cybersecurity issues, boy, are you wrong. Tire giant Bridgestone confirms cyber attack impacts manufacturing. Think about that. Their manufacturing process was impacted by a cybersecurity issue. So it affected some manufacturing facilities in North America. They had to do a kind of like pseudo lockdown. So it was a rapid response team, I guess, that got pulled together in order to figure out what the heck happened. And there was an incident in one of the production facilities. Yeah, two of the production facilities in Icon County, South Carolina. And then up in Canada, with the French in particular in Quebec, there was a manufacturing facility that also reported similar disruptions. And then Bridgestone confirmed there was a cyber incident. And they said that, the forensic analysis is ongoing. We don't believe any customer data or interfaces were compromised. The staff's working around the clock to make sure we continue, etc., etc. No ransomware groups have taken responsibility for it. But if you have a look at the reporting of these similar disruptions, what are the disruptions, right? So let's translate from French to English because nobody likes French. Okay, everyone like French. French. Okay. So what was going on? Well, we don't know the details. What we do know is that employees were not able to work inside of these manufacturing plants for a short period of time, and that their operations, like internally, were without any details provided. They were negatively impacted, whatever that means, right? So what I can take away from this, what I can translate as best as I can from this, is that these guys had some kind of cybersecurity issue where they could not continue their manufacturing process. So if that's true, if based on the very little details that we have, that's correct, I want you to picture what it could be like for other manufacturing plants it doesn't have to be tires, it could be anything, who might not be aware that their cybersecurity sucks, because most companies are not aware that their cybersecurity sucks. And what happens when they get hacked and they cannot manufacture the stuff you and I depend on, even for a short period of time? We're talking about potential losses in the millions, if not higher, for even just a few hours of downtime. This is how brittle the tech industry has become, because we don't have people who even understand just pure basic fundamentals. And I'm kind of glad that I'm seeing a few more articles lately that talk about how even in databases where there's no password or security, at the very least, I'm seeing less or more and more saying that usernames and passwords were hashed. hey, that's a good step forward. I would like seeing that more. But holy crap, is it super risky out there to have your data out anywhere? At this point, just assume your data's been leaked, because it probably has been. It honestly probably has been already. You should just, like I've said before, you should just take your phone, just walk down the street, turn off all the passwords, and just hand it to the next stranger and say, have at it, because it's basically equivalent to running around the internet these days. All right. Let's see, what else do I have here? Do I have any more cybersecurity ones? I have a few, but they're a bit more specific. We covered that one, not covering that one yet. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's another one. So, in keeping in line with tires, how about cars? Jag Land Rover says cyber attacks severely disrupted production. Yep. So we've gone from tires to the whole damn car. So there was a cybersecurity incident that they said they had to lock everything down. There's no evidence customer data has been stolen, but production activities have been severely disrupted. We have to restart our global applications in a controlled manner. Jaguar Land Rover operate as a single company, JLR, under Tata Motors India. I bet you didn't know that. I learned that, I think around 2017 or something, when I was doing some work for Jag Land Rover back in the day, after being both acquired from Ford in 2008. With an annual revenue of more than $38 billion, the company produces more than 400,000 vehicles every year and employs 39,000 people. It's quite the operation. I remember building helping to build some software for the head units in their cars. So dealers were the first to state that something was wrong. They were unable to register new cars or supply parts at service points. JLR then said, yep, we had an attack. We had to shut down some of our systems, including some systems that were used at the Solihull. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. If Laffley was here, he'd tell me how to pronounce it correctly. Solihull production plant. There is no timeline to normal operational status. And nobody knows who did the attack. And we don't have information on the attack. Now, there is one thing I can tell you for sure. Jag Land Rover, back when I was working with them, they have, I think, over, we're talking like mid to mid 2010s, okay? Something like that. Over 300 and I want to say 60 third-party vendors who help build their cars. The company I was working for was I was one of the tech leads, like I said, building software for the head units. They have a yearly third-party vendor award for the best third-party vendor that works with them. You can see where I'm going with this, I hope. I wonder what third-party vendor they handed their security issues to that caused this. I wonder. Just putting that out there. Okay, let's see. What else do I have here? Okay, let's do this one. So this one, actually, okay. For the people who love the transhumanism, technocracy stuff that I've done, we're gonna go over an article right now where Xi Jinping, if I've pronounced that correctly, and Vladimir Putin are discussing exactly the kind of stuff I've been talking about on these streams. The transhumanist movement, the technocratic transhumanist cyborg, live forever. You're all nothing but interchangeable widgets. You're just energy machines as inputs and outputs. Well, let's have a look at this, shall we? Xi and Putin discuss organ transplants and immortality in hot mic moment. The exchange between the Chinese leader and his Russian counterpart could be heard as they attended a military parade with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. That's right. That's right. Let me see if I can close this. Yeah. What do autocratic leaders talk about when they get together? Well, they talk about living forever. So during a military parade, we have these three folks uh, hobnobbing around, having a great time. Look at how happy they are, eh? It's like he's pointing to you because he knows he owns your data. Okay. He knows he owns it. And he's looking at you like, do you seriously think you stand a chance against me? I ride bears. That's just my typical, like in Canada, we ride meese, which is the plural of moose. He rides bears, right? So as they ascended the rostrum at Tiananmen Square to watch the parade, Putin and Xi, who are both 72, appear to be discussing the world's strides in life expectancy. While it used to be rare for people to reach age 70, now they say that at 70 you are only a child, a translator for Xi can be heard telling Putin in Russian. With advances in biotechnology, people will be able to transplant human organs continuously, grow younger with age, and perhaps even achieve immortality, Putin's translator responds in Mandarin. Xi, who at that point was off camera, can then be heard saying, "Some have predicted that by the end of the century, humans could potentially live up to 150 years. It was unclear whether the conversation was also being translated for Kim, believed to be 41, who was smiling and looking toward the older leaders. Then they asked Kim, and he said, "Yeah, what's the big deal? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah." So Kim's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So they just continue talking about it. Putin confirmed the conversation with Xi. He's like, "Yep, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, absolutely. I think we're fast approaching the transhumanist point where you're going to be able to replace your organs, and you're going to be able to live forever. Yeah, what's the harm in that?" He also referred to the United Nations estimates that by 2050, there will be more than twice as many people over 60 as children under 5. Huh. So these guys seem to hold a certain kind of belief, and you can kind of see that it's not difficult to get people to buy in this day and age. It's not difficult to get people to buy into the technocratic ideology. It's really simple. You just have to point to my science and my studies and my tech and my graphics cards and my AI, and you can say, look, the time is fast approaching when you're going to be able to live forever in a paradise earth where war and hate and crime will be no more, and your loved ones will no longer pass away. Thus the pitch for every single Jehovah's Witness who's ever knocked on doors ever. This is exactly playing out before our very eyes, and people like Xi and Putin and Kim Jong-un believe all this stuff, and they probably don't have a very good grasp on what the technocratic movement even is. I doubt they. I bet they barely know what it is. Anyway, in line with that, let me pull up the next article. How would you like to have little sperm microbots running around your veins? Or just your body in general? How would you like that? And I'm not kidding. I'm not even joking. Just very much in line with that. These spunky new micro robots might be the answer to infertility. Yeah. Sperm is being transformed into miniature robots, opening new doors in reproductive science and drug delivery. A group of researchers at TechMed Center of the University of Twente, I want to say, in the Netherlands, has found a unique way to deliver drugs to hard-to-reach places using naturally occurring microscopic swimmers. So can you guess? Can anybody guess how this works? Any guesses how this works? Just a few sperm in your body. No big deal. No big deal. So they take sperm, they turn them into micro robots, and then they magnetically navigate them through your body. So they coat them with this like magnetic stuff, magnetic nanoparticles. So it makes them traceable inside the human body. Then you use an external magnetic field and you just channel them through your body. And then these little micro robots fix stuff, apparently. I don't know, whatever they got to do. This could be a major breakthrough when it comes to diagnosing reproductive diseases, conditions like uterine cancer, endometriosis, or fibroids. Nice. We're turning nature's own cell delivery systems into programmable micro robots. Yeah, well, if this isn't transhumanism technocracy 101, I don't know what is. I genuinely don't. The issue here that I find is not that they're using something that's naturally occurring to try and accomplish something. The issue with me is that they take something that is natural and they turn it into something that's unnatural. Because if you think about the digital landscape, technical stuff like tech in general, that's an unnatural. It's a man-made creation. And as soon as you start trying to wrap man-made creations around natural things, especially when it comes to manipulating stuff inside your body this way, you open the door to a huge amount of potential issues. I find this to be no bueno. No bueno for me. All right. That's my vote. It's a no bueno. But there you go. Okay. Now, of course, I can't go one stream without talking about AI. Let's talk about Salesforce. If you don't know what Salesforce is a CRM, which is essentially just a very glorified Rolodex in tech form, on a website form, application form, whatever you want to call it. Salesforce CEO says it cut 4,000 support jobs and replaced them with AI. That's 45% of its customer support workers. In a podcast interview, Logan Bartlett, aka Dumbass, says, I need less heads. They're using AI to process around 10,000 leads weekly. However, in the same podcast, Dumbass here noted a lack of human resources had caused the company to accrue a backlog of 100 million uncalled leads over 26 years. So on the one hand, he's saying we didn't have enough customer service people. And then on the other hand, he goes, that's okay. We're going to fire a whole bunch of them. We're going to replace this with AI. Good job, dumbass. And, these AI systems don't self-run. Like they're not self-managed. You have to have an omni-channel supervisor who's helping humans and AI systems work together. Great. I can't wait to read a following article 6 months from now when Salesforce realizes that they've made a terrible mistake, as many other companies are realizing now. The tide is starting to turn, albeit slowly, but it's happening. Also, if you are running a large language model server, hundreds of LLM servers left exposed online, here's what we know. The servers were found using a quick Shodan search. If you don't know what Shodan is, it's a website where you can go and search for Internet of Things stuff like Raspberry Pis, webcams, etc. They promote themselves as the Google search of finding Internet of Things stuff. So apparently just a quick search, and there were a ton of Ollama servers. Ollama is a variation on one of the large language models. There were a ton of them that were just open, just wide open, ready for abuse, jailbreaking, model poisoning, everything. Basic security was non-existent on these models. So that means that if you wanted to, if you really, really wanted to, you could use Shodan, you could find one of these open models, you could determine which company the model is run by, and then you can jailbreak the model in order to get it to give you information about the company, maybe give you free products, I don't know, tell you stuff about employees, whatever the models have access to in terms of the company. It's all just open and out there. No problem. There's 1,100 Olamo servers just publicly exposed without any basic security at all. Fantastic. Fantastic. Most of the servers are in the US, a vast majority, then China, and then Germany. Great. I love reading articles like that because it just goes to show you how stupid these AI systems are, and the people who use them don't know how to do anything because they clearly can't even lock them down. Yo, what's up, Hamlet? Good to see you. I know what you guys are talking about over there, but I'm sure Vampire's being an idiot. Okay, let's see what else I have. Let's cover. Yeah, let's cover this one. I've talked about this before. It seems like the internet is being inundated with massive amounts of denial of service attacks. And I want to say the last 12 months or so, Cloudflare has had to block record levels of data in terms of terabytes per second. Records are being broken. The last 12 months, I believe we broke 2 records already with Cloudflare, thus making this next article, I believe, the third. Cloudflare blocks largest recorded DDoS attack, peaking at 11.5 terabytes per second. So this is a volumetric distributed denial of service. 11.5 terabits per second. Do you know how many shareware versions of Doom you can get per second for that? Hell, do you know how many modern games you could get for that per second? Even just a modern game at like 60 gigs per second? That's quite a few. So they were able to block it, but somebody out there is playing a pretty big game of let's attack everything we can as much as possible. The details are a little bit scant. I'm not sure what the intended target was exactly, but you can see Cloudflare 2 months ago announced a record-breaking 7.3, and then the previous record was in October 2024, 3.8. So like I said, it's not even 12 months. It's actually less than 12 months. The record has been broken 3 times. How many of you want to guess that this is AI driven? How many of you want to guess that? Yeah, it lasted only approximately 35 seconds, but how much data? How much data? Anyways, it's crazy. There's something going on. The internet is, I don't know, the internet's under attack or something. I'm not sure how to exactly to explain that, but I 100% believe this is quite AI driven for sure. All right. I'm going to cover one more specific one, and then I'm going to grift, and you guys are going to have to pay if you want to tackle more. So for this next one, we're going to talk about Laravel. Now, you know how much I hate obfuscations and abstractions and frameworks and libraries. I hate them because a huge amount of them, a vast majority with rare, and I do mean rare exceptions, make it so that programmers don't understand what the hell they're doing anymore because they're not encouraged to look under the hood. They're encouraged to work within the paradigm. The paradigm, it's an appeal to authority. There's an implicit telling you you're stupid as a programmer. Why would you go reinvent the wheel when we have a wheel right here? Someone smarter than you created this wheel. Don't go reinventing it. You're wasting time. You're wasting money, etc., etc. And it's caused an entire, I want to say generation, if you want to call it that, of programmers who are intelligent people. It's not like they're smart or, sorry, dumb or stupid, but they're being told that, and there's an appeal to authority behind it, and they don't understand what it is they're doing when they work within a paradigm, as opposed to understanding how their code actually works in hardware when it executes on your device, why it's disrespectful to your hard-earned money when you pay for a phone or you pay for a laptop or you pay for a desktop, and programmers think that they have the right to eat up as much RAM and hard drive space as they want, simply because it's there for the taking, right? It's completely disrespectful to you. In any case, Laravel is one of these frameworks that I have grown to despise. I first initially started using it, and I loved it. I thought it was great at first. It was simple. It was straightforward. The creator was doing some very basic things with it. And unfortunately, now you can see that even the website has become, I don't know, it's changed, and they look just like everything else. You can see OpenAI uses them. Webflow uses them. Okay, NASA uses them. Operation Paperclip. So we have a particular people. We have a particular type of people, a history. We've gone over that with the technocracy stuff. Operation Paperclip. You can go ahead and look that up. I believe there was somebody else who was also using this. I can't remember who. Doesn't matter. In any case, look at all the different packages that they have. All the different packages. Isn't this great and fantastic? No. No, this is absolute bullshit. Laravel has become a disgusting Frankenstein of PHP. That's just yet another system that just obfuscates away what the hell you're doing. I hate it. I've grown to hate it. I started off liking it, and the creator has completely lost the plot on what this should be, and so I don't use it anymore. And I've been working on a "Don't use Laravel not even once" video, just like "Don't use Tailwind not even once." That's a video I have free on my live tab on my YouTube, and you can go watch that. I'm working on one of these because this is absolute dog crap. Absolute dog crap. Don't use it. So, in that line, the creator has the audacity. Somehow he has the confidence and audacity. Laravel inventor tells devs to quit writing cathedrals of complexity, says one of the guys who wrote one of the biggest cathedrals of complexity in PHP in recent history. There have been others like Symfony, Zend, Magento, which is kind of built on top of Symfony, I believe. Yeah, like we've already done this before, but you just created another one. Skip the clever code and keep it simple. Yeah, like you did with Laravel, sir. So he went on a podcast. He said he started off trying to make it like a Ruby on Rails thing. And at first, I got to agree with him. He nailed it at first. I thought it was great. I thought it was simple, straightforward. He just kept stuck to the basics, right? And so he took away some of the pain points of PHP with Laravel, stuck to the basics of it, and kept it as such. And that was a great start. And then he goes on to complain about like the ASP.NET MVC. Well, not complain, but like he took stuff from it. Symfony. He talks about Symfony. He talks about WordPress. Talks about JetBrains. All of that stuff. And then he essentially goes into how people are using too much extra stuff, trying to be clever about their code, etc. And they're creating cathedrals of complexity. However, go ahead and use my system. My system, for example, Laravel, requires you to use, let's see if I can find it. It might not be in one of these packages. Maybe it's a starter kit. Yeah. React starter kit, Vue starter kit, Livewire starter kit. Surely these are not cathedrals of complexity, right? They can't possibly be cathedrals of complexity. Not at all. You're not just slapping on layers upon layers of stuff. There's one, I think Livewire is one of the default ways to do rendering on Laravel, or it's one of the ones that it's often, at least from what I remember, because I haven't used Laravel in a while because I absolutely hate it. It makes me want to puke every time. So I can't remember which one of these it is, but like this is all just complexity on top of complexity. So the guy who's created the newest form of complexity and abstractions and slaps on a bunch of it, in fact promotes it. It's in their documentation. They promote complexity. You can see some of the libraries and packages that they promote you using in order to accomplish certain things. It's all just more complexity. That's all it is. But this guy's like, hey guys, maybe you should stop writing cathedrals of complexity. Okay, bro. How about you take one of your own pills, bro? How about that? Because you've completely lost the plot with this framework, and I highly discourage other programmers from using it. It's absolute dog crap. don't use it. That's what I have to say about that. Yo, Josh, good to see you. What's up, my tech? Good to see you. Okay, so there's that article. All right. Now, at this point, yeah, yeah, vampire. If you use it or get it away from me. Yes, that's right. So at this point, I'm gonna have to grift. We covered the title of today's episode. We covered the article for that one. I'm gonna grift. I do have some more articles here. So for example, we could go over the Great Firewall, the Great Internet Firewall of China, and how that works. That was kind of an interesting article. It doesn't work exactly how you think it works. We could go over whether warehouse automation is actually safer for workers, how AI vibe coding is destroying junior developers' careers. We could go over the former XAI engineer who leaked secrets to OpenAI. We could go over the bikini interview AI videos. We could go over some NVIDIA stuff, how they're propping up the market. We could go over AI emotional manipulation. We could go over Disney having to pay $10 million for data collection. There's all kinds of stuff we can go over, but you guys are going to have to pay me at least $5 if you want to keep this going. I'll cover another article. You can do it through donos. You can type in !tip, all one word, and it'll give you a link. And you'll have to pay up. ASCII art for harmful responses from AI. It's up to you guys. If, however, you don't care, that's fine. I'll give you guys a few minutes and I'll just shoot the breeze here, and then I'll end the stream after. So while we wait, I'm going to be working on Sophie's website. Sophie is one of the viewers in chat. She's got a NeoCities website, and I'm going to be helping her out with that. She sent me some ideas on stuff she wants to see. So I don't think I'm going to get to it today. Probably tomorrow I'll spend some time, probably like maybe in the morning, so several hours earlier than whatever time it is for you now. I'll do a few hours working on that, and working on Vampire Frog on YouTube has a cool app. I might as well shill that one for Vampire, even though he trash talks me all the time, but he's a good guy. I like him. Joiner.live, that's his app. It's a streaming thing, tools for streamers. So my count view widget at the bottom, and the gold bar, and some of the pop-up notifications and stuff that comes from this application. I'm going to help him out. He wants me to take that widget, that counter widget at the bottom of your screen right now, at the bottom right. He wants to remove Vue, the front-end library, and simplify it, make it easier, add some features to it, stuff like that. So I'm already set up. I already solved that over the weekend, how to run my own local instance, code that I can probably share that I don't think he would mind me sharing on stream. We'll work on that. It'll be a fun little project. So we'll do some simple NeoCity stuff for Sophie and some stuff for Vamp. It'll be fun. And, we'll learn a few things along the way. It'll be a bit educational on both accounts. We'll just spend a few hours doing that. So probably tomorrow, I think I'm going to do that, but I'm ready on both accounts. I just have to, I've been working on a lot of stuff, so I got to apologize to both Sophie and Vamp, because I keep promising to get to it, and I failed to do so at an appropriate time, appropriate manner. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on, but that's kind of the plan there. We do have a dono, it looks like. There we go. Evil Eye donated for $5. Thank you, Evil Eye. Let me put that up on screen. That deserves, there it is. That's from Joiner.live as well. Vamp did this. Thank you, Vamp, again. Yeah, so go to Joiner.live if you want those streaming tools. I do highly recommend it. I genuinely do. It's made my life a lot easier, not having to deal with these widgets. I find it to be easier to use than Streamlabs. I'm just being honest. Streamlabs has all kinds of issues. They have this piss poor front end system. It's buggy. I often have problems with a lot of their widgets. It's dumb. So I much prefer what Vamp's got going on here. So I appreciate that. And Evil Eye, thank you for the $5. You'll notice that the gold bar went up by $5. I appreciate that. So we're going to keep going. Let me pick another article. Evil Eye, if you do want to pick an article, I'll give you a few minutes. You can pick an article that you want to go over. You want me to do something AI related? You can have me pick whatever you want. Let me just show you what I got here. We could go like we could do a few AI ones. We could do we could do cover like why Microsoft was disrupted recently. We could go over, let me see, the Disney one, having to pay the FTC. Let's see what else we got. I almost have way too many AI ones, Evil Eye. It might just come down to to an AI. Yeah, whatever you want to do. You get to pick, Evil Eye. I'll give you a minute, or you can just tell me to pick one and I'll pick one and we'll just go. So that's the plan. I think for tomorrow. I have plans for updating the battle system. I want to work on that more. Emmett has some plans for some updated sprites, that kind of stuff. You're interested in the Microsoft one? You got it, Evil Eye. So I'm gonna work on that, on this guy a little more as well throughout the week. I'll do some of that publicly, particularly because I want to talk about Datastar. Because I use Datastar, if you know what that is. I had Delaney on a few times. I'm going to have him on again. I want to build out a few more products with Datastar first, but yeah, I'm going to be working on that throughout the week as well. So I'll stream doing that as well. It'll be a good week. I think I'm going to try and make lots of content this week, so much as I can. Let's go over the Microsoft one. Let me do this proper, Evil Eye. You got it, man. So let's go over to Microsoft. Where did it go? I didn't do that right. Here we go. Okay. Microsoft 365 Copilot doesn't save that much time. UK government fines. We're going to do that one, Evil Eye. Stop me if this isn't the one you were thinking of, all right? Because you get to pick. But I think that's the one you were looking at because that's the one I had planned. That's the only Microsoft one I had planned. So let's get to it. So Microsoft uses Copilot. If you don't know what Copilot is an AI system. And the intent behind it is that it integrates with your Microsoft 365 subscription. And it's supposed to help you. It's supposed to help you generate your documents and spreadsheets and stuff like that. Well, unfortunately, it's not saving them that much time. So a trial in the UK found that Microsoft 365 Copilot didn't necessarily improve productivity. But does this prove that artificial intelligence is overhyped? That's a great question, Cyber News. What do we think? What do we in chat think? In the UK's Department of Business and Trade, a trial took place to test Copilot from October 2024 to March 2025. There were 1,000 licenses that were given out within a 3-month period, awarded to UK staff, 70% who were volunteers and 30% at random. Many reported satisfaction with the tool, which claims to perform a wide range of tasks for, all the kind of stuff that you do with Microsoft 365, which is mostly like Office stuff, like I said, documents and whatever. Positives, 72% said that they were satisfied or highly satisfied with the tool. Written tasks were particularly successful because large language models do human, word verbiage stuff, and they tend to do okay with that. However, Copilot was less proficient in administrative duties, like scheduling meetings and other tasks, or creating PowerPoint presentations. Color me shocked. Color me shocked. Many companies investing in artificial intelligence seem to believe that AI will cut time and improve productivity, which in turn will save the business money. But as we have seen, including from a recent study in MIT, 95% out of thousands of companies, I believe it was thousands, studied in that MIT study, only 95% failed in their AI usage, as in they just completely gave up on it. It went nowhere. They invested in AI, hoping that it would take over certain aspects of their businesses. 95% failed. Only 5% had some measure of success. And what was the success? That it got off the ground and they used it for a while. That's it. So far, we have an overwhelming amount of evidence now at this point that AI is not saving companies a damn thing. The assessment reads, as now we tie that into this article, they did an evaluation, right? The evaluation finds that the evidence, did not find evidence. The evaluation did not find evidence that time savings have led to improved productivity. And control group participants had not observed productivity improvements from colleagues taking part in the pilot. Interestingly, colleagues who participated in the trial found they saved time in their individual tasks. Interesting. There's a dichotomy here where the people who used Copilot, the AI system, said, yes, it saved me time. But productivity didn't increase. Can anybody take a guess what might be happening here? Because I can take a few guesses. For example, maybe these people are lazy. Maybe they're using it to save themselves time, and so they have more time to snack and watch cat videos and go on Reddit and complain. That could be one, right? Here's another one, which we've covered at length in these streams. What if it saves them time because it generates stuff that they don't have to generate, but then they have to spend time going over it, fact-checking it, fixing it, etc. And so their actual productivity when it comes to what goes out the door versus what gets generated before the door, it's two very different things. And the employees here might not be able to discern the difference. Imagine you're an employee at a cubicle, especially at a federal level, and you're just doing whatever you're doing. You're working on presentations, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, whatever it is. And you prompt away, generate me a spreadsheet with this data, and it does it. And you're immediately going to feel like, wow, I saved all that time I didn't have to put into it. But you lose sight of the fact that once that gets handed off, assuming that it generated it correctly enough to pass your eyeballs, once it goes out to a bunch of people or in front of government officials or consumers or product owners or whatever the case might be, there are all kinds of problems that you have to deal with, which again, we've covered on these streams several times. And now your productivity is negated because now you have to go and cover up or fix the problems that were generated, even though you feel like you saved time generating those problems. That's what's going on here, in my opinion. The individual person cannot discern from the fact that they saved time for themselves, but they didn't save time as a whole. And there's a reason for that, and it's pretty obvious. Yeah, Daver got it in chat. Slop. That's the reason. That's the primary reason. And we've seen this. We've covered it in studies with economic studies that go over the stats on productivity output in terms of dollars. The economy has had, particularly in the US, I think I have an article lined up for this. The US economy has basically had no impact from AI generation, AI tools being more ubiquitously used everywhere. That means that AI is not saving time. Bare minimum, that's what it means. It means that you're getting the exact same kind of impact on your economy. You're using AI. That's it. So what is it actually doing? It's nothing. It's net neutral isn't a good thing. It's a bad thing. It bodes poorly for AI. Same with companies. We've covered, I believe, 2 studies already. One of them was a CIO study, I think, which is essentially you talk to executives or managers at companies, and you do ask them questions, and it becomes a survey with stats. One was an actual scientific study, which was on the economic factors of certain companies using AI. Always either net neutral at best. Self-perceived productivity, always, employees always go with self-perceived productivity, programmers included. Oh yeah, everything's much better with AI, bro. Yeah, I'm a lot faster. But when it actually comes down to what you're actually producing and how much time you're spending, at best it's net neutral, if not detrimental. This, I think, trend will only continue. People are going to realize that there's a wall. I did predict, it was approximately 8 months ago, 8 months ago that I said a year from 8 months ago, so there's only about 4 months left, we're going to see a huge, some kind of, dramatic, eye-opening moment where people go, oh, AI is not what we thought it was going to be. We were wrong about it. Maybe we need to take a step back and reconsider what the hell we're doing with it. So if my prediction still holds, it's like it's 3 to 4 months away before something like that happens. And hopefully it happens without any serious loss of life, because that's what I think it's going to take. I think people are going to have to lose their lives over some AI system making a decision that it shouldn't have made, people losing their jobs like they are already, as we're covering now. And yeah, I really hope it doesn't come to that, but that's what I think. And man, I would rather see companies lose a bit of money and time implementing AI, and then people go, "Oh, gee, maybe we shouldn't have done that," than people losing their lives. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, Evil Eye. I appreciate that. If I didn't cover the right one, Evil Eye, let me know and you'll get a freebie. You just let me know which one to cover. But hopefully that's it. If anybody else wants to pony up $5 for another article, I have a few. And you're welcome to do that. And you can tell me what you want me to cover and I'll keep going. Otherwise, you can hold out for the next Tech Bytes. I'll prep episode 7. And like I said, I gotta think about how I'm gonna make it easier for you guys to vote. Maybe something on Discord or something, where I list the next few articles, and if you're a paid subscriber or something, you get to vote on it, something like that. I don't think people will typically go on the website to vote for the next article. I don't think it's like fun to do unless you're really, really interested in doing it, right? So I'll try and make it something super easy and simple. We'll see what happens there, but yeah. Yeah, it was perfect. Okay, Evil Eye. Thanks, man. I appreciate the $5. So yeah, I have a few others. If anybody else wants to pay $5, I'll do another one. Otherwise, I'll probably do a Tech Bytes episode 7 Wednesday or Thursday, I think. I got to do a little bit of prep work. I like to put some time into it. I want to try and dig up some more cryptocurrency articles. I want to talk about Bitcoin, crypto. I want to cover that a bit more because I want to talk down. I want to look snobbishly down at cryptocurrency people and tell them how dumb crypto is. And I want to have logical arguments for it. So I'm going to be covering a bit more of that. I'm looking into it because I don't know enough. I don't know as much as I should about it. So I know more about technocracy than I know about crypto. Man, what else do I have planned? Tomorrow, if I do a programming stream, it'll be an open panel. You guys can hop on and just chat with me about anything you guys like. Trying to think what else I've got. I think that's it. I think that's what I got for the week. Since I'm jobless and I'm receiving, I think I got a rejection email, not but a few hours before I started the stream. I'm pretty sure I got another rejection email. So since I'm jobless, I might as well make content for you guys and work on stuff. Hopefully you guys are having a great Monday. Trying to think if I have any other plan. I had something else. My brain is telling me that I'm forgetting to tell you guys something, but I don't know what it is. I'm too smooth-brained. I've been using AI too much, A rejecting Spiro, that sounds like a bad call from that company. Yeah, well, just tell him you're Indian, yeah. Yeah, I should just tell him that. I should take, Vamp, I should probably take I am Greek in bold letters at the very top at 52px size font. Should probably take that off the top, eh? Yeah, I should probably do that. Probably doesn't help my chances. Yeah, I've been yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, Hamlet. I've been getting tons of rejection letters. Um yeah, even for jobs that I'm clearly qualified for. Maybe even overqualified, which can sometimes work against you because a company might think that they can't afford you, or you're not going to be happy working there because you're overqualified. So it's understandable, but still. Yeah, I should work on the. Listen, sir. Okay, please, I need a job. My family needs to have my family needs to have curry tonight for food. Okay, please hire me. Please hire me. I definitely need job. Okay. Think it's because of my content? I know it is. Yeah. Yeah, Potham. Yeah. It's hard to find a job. Yeah, I know lots of programmers are not having much luck. I know. Doesn't bode well for me. Um I know part of it is because of my content. I know for a fact because I've been told as such. Um for a variety of reasons. So the problem is that if this continues for, well, if I'm still in this position next month where I'm not getting anything, um I might have to change my entire life and maybe go back to construction. And I mean that like quite seriously. I don't know because I know that this is long term for a lot of people, and it's bad timing because companies aren't fully companies aren't fully aware of what they've done yet. Some companies are starting to become more aware of the mistakes that they're making, and they're starting to make changes. It's good. Some people will get work again. It's good. I'm glad. But by probably the middle of next month, if I'm still in this position, um, it might mean I'm not streaming anymore. Maybe I have to move somewhere else, do a different job. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's part of it is because I've got a family, right? So I can't sit around and roll the dice forever, hoping that somebody will pick me up. So better find some easy job like security. Yeah, 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 yeah. They'll realize what. Yeah, that's already happening, Sophie. Yeah, it's already happening. There are already people. I believe there's some people in chat. Maybe Apotham, if I remember right. I think he's already had a contract job fixing AI issues. Somebody else in chat as well. So it is already happening, Sophie. It's just not happening fast enough or in great enough quantity. So lots of programmers are still out in the cold, including myself. And my content doesn't help because people see me as like, oh, this guy's going to join and he's just going to trash talk everything we do. He's not going to work with us. He's not a team player. He's going to just tell us that we're all stupid, which I will. But I'm perfectly happy to work with any system or paradigm that your company uses. I want to help you succeed, right? I want the company to succeed. If I want to make a point of, hey, I don't agree with how you're doing X, Y, or Z. I think there's something better. I'll make a case for it, but that's it, right? And I have stellar references to that effect. My references are stellar. I mean that. But nobody even checks references anymore. So yeah, there you go. Apotham. I've done 3 contract jobs now that have fixed companies using AI. Yeah, I wish I knew where to get those jobs. I don't know where to get them. Vibe Code Destroyer. Yeah, I should put that on my LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So yeah, that's. I'll make content and try and shill stuff like this. The game over here, build stuff, try a consultant company. I could, yeah. I probably should take a day or two and just kind of disappear off the internet. Um and try and really focus because my time's running out. It's difficult. Oh, thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. If you kept me in mind, I'm happy to talk. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, Johnny. But I know you've been around here. I know you've been around these parts, Johnny. You've seen how I code, hand rolling my own CHTTP server, live. Just learning about sockets and threads and stuff all on my own, um, et cetera, et cetera. Hide your channels for a month to get employed. I could, yeah. It's Angular, so I know your opinion. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? Is that people think that I'm gonna walk in. People think they're gonna hire me. I'm gonna walk in and I'm just gonna completely like poo poo all over everything you do. No. If I genuinely think that there's something that we could improve on, let's say that I come in and it's like I don't like, I have an opinion, right? So my opinion is I don't like how Angular is being used here. I'm not just gonna go off and like, go like wild west it and go do my own thing and not work with you guys and like throw my hands up in the air and go, humph, I don't want to work on this. I may not like it, but I want the company to succeed because if the company succeeds, then we all succeed, right? We all get a paycheck. So I'm gonna work with you. I'm going to try my best to do whatever it takes to keep going. So if it means continuing on with Angular, we're going to continue on with Angular. And if I have ideas on how to improve it, whether with Angular or without, I'll run it by the team. I'll make the best case I can for it. And we'll see what we can come up with, right? Because that's my job there. My job will be to help support the team. But that doesn't come across when you're watching my streams because my streams aren't trying to sell myself as like a job seeker. My streams are to get people to think about what they're doing. So I take these extreme views to get programmers to question why on earth they would even use Angular in the first place. That's the point, right? There's a difference, right? So it's an unfortunate place I've put myself in. I only have myself to blame for it. But I'm what I'm trying to do is get people to. I'm trying to get people to wake up, right? That's what I'm trying to do, and that's not. It's not representative of how it would work if I'm actually in your company. My last job, exactly this. I went over this. Why one of the reasons that I was laid off was that we were using Webflow to produce a website, and I hated Webflow, and I kept warning the company that it wasn't going to work. What they wanted to get out of Webflow was literally impossible. They didn't listen. They did admit that later. They were very kind and honest about that. So I'm not trash talking them, but they didn't listen, right? And they kept saying, no, we got to make this work, Spiro. And instead of just, giving up or being, malcontent or whatever, I worked with them. I did everything I possibly could to make it work because they that's what they wanted, right? And I wanted them to succeed and I wanted to accomplish what they wanted. That's what I care about when I'm working at a company is how, yeah, maybe I don't like this and maybe I'll warn you about it, but if this is really what you want, I will do my frickin' best to make it happen with you guys, right? But it doesn't come across in these streams because I try and get programmers to question what they're doing in the first place because not enough programmers do that. Not enough managers, not enough executives. And then here we are with the tech industry that's completely broken, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those cases where I think my streams are hurting my chances. Nobody in the programming world knows who Apotham is, right? Yep, that's right. How much do I need for contract work to continue doing what I'm doing? Um, I am not sure I am prepared. I'm not sure I'm prepared to state that publicly. If you want, I don't mind telling you, Evil Eye, in DMs. I could DM you how much I need, but it would be it'd be a few thousand a month. I'll say that much. It'd be a few thousand a month. Yeah, and I would have to supplement that a bit myself. Yeah, I mean, rent alone here in Canada, the entire market is completely broken in Canada right now. Finances are completely broken. Um, Rent alone is I'll tell you this much. Rent alone here is approximately 2,700. That's not exactly my rent. I'm close to that. Just slightly under, but that's like the average. A lot of people are paying over 3,000. So I'm actually in a decent position compared to what other people around, well, just about anywhere are paying. Um, that's it alone right there, just for rent. So, I would need at least that, probably a bit more, in order to cover for, beyond rent. There's extra stuff you have to pay for. Obviously, I've got a kid, I've got a wife, food and whatnot. I'm not the ideal scenario would be this. This is my ideal scenario. I have no problem putting in the work. You guys have seen me work. Sometimes I'll work like I've done a 72-hour stream. I've already done one 72-hour stream. I've done two or three 48-hour streams, and I've done like six or seven 24-hour streams in the past. I should probably do another one. Those are fun. Maybe a charity stream where I program. Maybe I should do that while I'm jobless. 24-hour charity stream, and I program the whole time, and I just work on anything. I just have to keep going, and you guys donate to charity. That might be good. But ideally, if I had it my way, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. Just if I had it my way, I would have some work on the side that I'm able to lean on monthly, and it does enough to pay to offset, some of the basic costs. The streaming picks up just a little bit more, where I don't have to do like targeted advertisements or like, read off like, this episode or, this stream is sponsored by, Raid of Legends or whatever. Like, I don't want to do all that crap, right? I don't want to take sponsorships. Just the advertisements from the views, you guys watching, donations, stuff like that would be enough to, cover just a little bit more, not too much more, but just a little bit more. And then, I would go and just supplement the rest. Anything else that I needed, I would just go and do it myself. I don't, I don't want to be dependent on you guys to pay me, because I know how hard money is to come by these days. And I don't. That's not why I do these streams. Now it has become that because I'm jobless. But ever since I started, I've always had a job. So I've always just done everything for free, as few ads as possible, all of that, because I think the information getting out there is far more important than me making money off of it. So ideally, I would have enough work and enough income from the streams that, to the two put together, is like, okay, well, I'm not in dire straits, right? But that's not where I'm at. I'm at a where I used to be when I was homeless. It's sink or swim. I'm either at the point where I need to be or I'm not. That's where I'm at right now. And given the context of how the tech industry has been in terms of work for the past 2 or 3 years, I don't have hope that 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 it's going to change unless something happens quickly in the next few weeks. So it's a pretty it's rough, And I know I'm not the only person, um, to who's going through issues, in a variety of ways. So I am charity work. That's right. That's right, Emmett. I am charity work. Yeah, you have to pay me for all the Greek seafood. That's right. It's the only thing that, yes, tzatziki and calamari. No, souvlaki. Souvlaki. That's what I need. I need you people to pay me for souvlaki, okay? Now, having talked about finances, I have to say something. There have been a few people who have sent me hundreds of dollars over the past 2 or 3 months. Not like, in any consistent, it's not like I get like hundreds of dollars all the time, but like four-ish maybe people have sent me several $100s. I won't say how much, I won't say who. Sometimes on stream, I think one or two times on stream, some big ones, and a few times behind the scenes. And I have to say that it has helped to offset some of the stress, I'm trying to make it last. And I really do appreciate the people, you know who you are, who have donated that amount, the amounts that you have. I appreciate it greatly. So I just want to make sure that those people get a proper shout out, you know. Yeah. If we hit the goal, then we can actually have a fun stream. That's right. That's right. If we hit the goal, we can have a fun stream instead of me just yeah. Yeah, here we go with the waterworks. Yeah, yeah. We'll uncover the mysteries of where the voice came from. I know where the voice came from. I know where it came from, but I'm going to save that for the grift. Thanks, Apotham. Yeah. Yeah, you know what the problem is right now? I'm not scared of, not having work, not having money, having to, I don't know. I don't think we're going to be homeless, but the life will definitely not be the same. I'm not scared of it. I've been there, but I was young and I didn't have a family. That's what's scary. It's not me so much. If I have to go live in a cardboard box, I'll go live in a cardboard box. But it's the idea of, uh-oh, what if I can't, like, what if I don't even have enough money to pay the debts that I have? I might have to declare bankruptcy. That's a very real scenario before me. Um, what about what's going to happen to my kid and her schooling? What's going to happen to my wife and some of the things that she needs? Uh, that's that's the real issue. It's not me. I'll take whatever, right? But it's the concern around the family, which I know people, I know people who like couldn't escape their situation, programmers, and they had to find ways to make it work. I know it happens. So, it's no special for me. I have to prepare for the worst, right? Anyway, that's where I'm at, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit back and do absolutely nothing about it. I will be damned if I sit back and do nothing about it. So I appreciate all the support. I appreciate especially the financial support. You guys have been awesome. I really do appreciate it. Some of you have even reached out and said that if I need a loan, I've been offered loans by some people who are, I think they might even be in chat right now. Um, yeah, I appreciate that a lot. And I don't know, maybe I might have to take one of you up on it, put my pride away and take one of you up on it. However, the goal would be to not ever reach that point. The goal would be that I pull up my sleeves like I have been and I get to work. I pride myself in my work ethic, not my voice. I have no pride in my voice. I sound like a woman. You know how many times I've been called ma'am on the phone? Do you have any idea how many times? Shut up, vamp. All right. Shut up. But it's true. I have a very effeminate voice and I know exactly where that came from, but I'm going to save that for another time. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it, man. Ideally, I pull through and maybe I'll have to take a few days and just disappear. You guys won't be able to just talk to me or see me on stream or anything like that, and just buckle down and mass resume send or something like that. Just try and be clever about my job hunting. I'll have to put some thought into that. Right, Johnny. Yeah, we're in the same city. Okay. All right. Sounds good, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah, I used to do low voltage, so I was thinking I could maybe go get my EQ, which would allow me to do low voltage and I guess whatever you would want to call high voltage, just general electrical work. I could do that. Um, I know what the test is like. I could challenge it and just take it and do it, um, and go back to construction, go back to doing that. Yeah. Thank you, Johnny. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm not done yet. I haven't given up yet. I'm just telling you that I'm prepared in case I have to. In case it comes to it, I am prepared. Um, you might get rid of me yet. You all might succeed. Vampire might succeed, and he might never have to see me again. His dream come true. Yeah. Yeah, I can get a real job. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Vamp. Okay, that's it. That's it for me. I'm gonna go. I've got a bunch of stuff to work on. I'm gonna go work on that. I'm gonna tackle some dinner. I do need to be getting on Discord more and having more voice calls with you guys. I'm not gonna be able to do it today because I need to be a dad today, so I gotta go and do my dad stuff. But maybe tomorrow for a few hours after, I don't know, after a stream or something, I'll hop on Discord. So pound Discord or exclamation mark Discord. I keep saying pound, but it's exclamation mark Discord. In chat, you get a Discord link, exclamation mark chat battle. If you want to do the battle over here, $1 a token, or if you ask me nicely, I can grant you some tokens. I'll make some updates to that. Yeah. Thanks everybody for the support. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end it here. Have a great rest of your Monday, whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. Just do a chill programming stream and work on a few things. And yeah, stay safe out there. Peace. Actually, I got to do it proper. I typically do this, right? Yeah, so there. Fine. Peace. It's stupid. I don't really like that. Whatever. Oh, crap. Folks, I almost forgot. Right. Microsoft Copilot. I was working on a spreadsheet. I was using Copilot, the AI system, and Copilot generated, just randomly out of the blue, it generated this entire spreadsheet of people in chat who suck. It's like this long ass spreadsheet of just names in my chat who suck. Let me go over the names here. I'll tell you which members of chat suck today. Daver, you suck. Sophie, you suck. Arakar, who's Emmett, you suck. Johnny, today you get a pass. Johnny gets a pass today. Johnny, you don't suck. Apotham, you know what, Apotham? It's 0.5%, okay? 0.5 for Apotham, all right? I'll cut him some slack. Vampire Frog, you suck 103 times today. Ghost, you suck. TMX, you suck. Hamlet, you suck. Who else sucks here? Let's see. We already got Daver, that's fine. Amagod, you suck. Josh, you suck. Mytech, you suck. Let's see. Marilyn, you suck. I think we got Mist, but whatever. Mist, you suck too. Orshi, you suck. Laughing Panda, you suck. Cat, you suck. Mike, you suck. 3D Code Warrior, you suck. Peercoin, you suck. Got AH, you suck. A Live Joiner, you suck. Restream Bot, you suck. All of you suck. Every single one of you sucks. DNT, you suck too. Peace out, everyone. Come back again in a few days for the next Tech Bytes episode, and I'll tell you all how much you suck. Bye.